So hi guys, welcome to another video. My name is Dariela Villaneda from BPE3C, and for today's video we will be talking about basketball. So here's the short history of basketball. So basketball was invented in 1981 by Dr. James Naismith, a Canadian of Scottish descent, and Springfield College, Massachusetts. The college was the International YMCA training school, and the game was invented to provide an indoor activity for the trainee. So YMCA leaders. So when the game was first played, pitch baskets were nailed up at each end of the gymnasium as goals. Hence on the origin of the name basketball. So the first set of rules was published and distributed through the YMCA movement in 1892. And this resulted in the game spreading rapidly throughout Canada and USA. So 1892, also the game played in England for the first time at Birkenhead YMCA after the club president was the game played whilst on a business trip to Canada. In 1893, the game was introduced into the physical training college in Hampstead. So now, the name of the school is Dartford College of PE by Madame Berman Osterberg. So, changes to the game to the suit the girls led to the first rules of netball being published in 1901. So, basketball was invented by the great Dr. James Naismith. So without Dr. James Naismith, we don't have the sport that we love. It's called basketball. So by 1898, a professional league was established in the USA, and by 1911, basketball had spread throughout the UK. So first country to play basketball is USA, then followed by the UK. In 1924, it was introduced as a demonstration sport at the Paris Olympic Games, and Great Britain won the title. So the first winner in this sport called basketball was the Great Britain. 1927 saw the Abe Saperstein on a Londoner from the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters, and in 1931, FIBA, the International Basketball Federation, was formed with a Welshman as its first secretary. So the England Basketball Association was formed in 1936, 13 years before the NBA was formed. So nauna pong nabuo yung England Basketball Association kaysa sa National Basketball Association or the NBA. So, and by 1957, the English School Basketball Association was formed. The 1970s saw the introduction of both men and women's national league in the UK. So, and by 1999, 219 teams were entered in the over 16 national leagues with almost 100 competing at under 15 levels. So by 1990, there were 117 members countries in FIBA, making basketball the second largest of the world's governing bodies and also the world's fastest growing and largest participation sport. So there because of FIBA, many countries joined the sport, so that the sport was the second largest sport in the world. So to date, there are 212 members countries worldwide, whilst in the UK alone there are over 500,000 people who regularly participate in recreational basketball, and it has become increasingly common to find the sport as the part of the curriculum in the school. So, hindi nagtagal, so yung basketball is naging part na ng curriculum ng school. So, yung basketball is tinuturo na rin sa mga schools. It is also used widely as a community activity, as anyone of any age or gender can participate. So, dito sa ating bansa, so walang pinipiling edad o walang pinipiling kasarian ng sport na basketball. So, makikita natin sa lahat ng paligid is maraming naglalaro nito. So, basketball is now included in the Commonwealth Games, and the sport is generally received a lot of coverage, with the GB wheelchair team perform very successfully in the Paralympic recently. So, yung basketball is nilalaro na rin ng yung mga nakasakay sa wheelchair. So, tinatawag itong Paralympics o para sports, para sa mga may kapansanan. So, proving that it is a sport that is accessible and playable by all. So, yun nga. So, walang pinipiling tao o may kapansanan man o wala, makakalaro pa rin ng basketball. Now, let's proceed to basic equipments and the facilities. So, first equipment is the ball. So, very important ito sa basketball. So, hindi ka naman makakalaro kung wala yung ball. Then, next one is the backboard and rim. So, the regulation height above the ground for the rim is 10 feet. So, yung taas ng rim is 10 feet manggagaling sa ground. And the rim is 18 inches in diameter. So, the standard size of the rim is 18 inches. So, the backboards are 6 feet wide and by 14 inches tall, with the inner square being 24 inches wide by 18 inches tall. So, yun yung backboard and rim. So, the next one is the foul line. So, the foul line, for all size courts, the foul line is 15 feet in front of the backboard. So, yung foul line is tinatawag din natin siyang free throw line. So, next one is the key, o yung sa may top of the key. So, yung the key is 12 feet wide and is the same for all basketball courts. So, the backboard extend 4 feet out over the baseline into the key. A half circle diameter 6 foot extend from the foul line away from the basket to complete the key. So, yun yung the key. So, yung the key is meron siya sa may 3-point line. So, yun yung tinatawag nilang top of the key. Then, yung sa may isa is yung may nakikita tayong konting curve sa may gitna ng free throw line. So, yun din yung tinatawag na key. So, the next one is the 3-point line or the big arc. So, the NBA basketball courts, the 3-point arc is 22 feet to the center of the rim. So, ganun kalayo yung 3-point arc. On the center of the rim on the side with a straight line extended out. So, hindi siya totally arc kasi yung sa dulo nito is dalawang straight, then magkakaroon siya ng arc. So 16 feet and 9 inches from the baseline. Past those points, the line extend out 23 feet 9 inches from the center of the rim. So ganun kalayo yung 3 points line. So mga kilala nating shooters is sila Steph Curry, Klay Thompson is parang binibasic lang nila yung 3 points. So next one is the line markings. So all line markings on the floor are 2 inches wide and can vary in color. So kalimitan nakikita nating kulay sa mga floor is color white. So sa NBA ngayon is napapansin natin is depende dun sa kulay ng uniform ng team is ganoon na rin yung kulay ng baseline nila. So yun yung mga basic equipments and facilities sa basketball. Now let's proceed to the basic rules of basketball. So first, let's talk about the rules of the offense. So the basketball team on offense is the team with the basketball. When a player has the basketball, there are certain rules they must follow. So first one, the player must bounce or dribble the ball with one hand. So hindi pwedeng dalawa kasi matatawagan ka ng violation na double dribble. So while moving both feet. So while dribbling, kailangan din nating mag-move. So kasi pag hindi ka nag-move, pwede kang matawagan sa other side ng court ng 8 seconds violation. So at any time, both hands touch the ball or the player stop dribbling, the player must only move one foot. So kapag nag-dribble ka then nag-stop ka then hinold mo yung ball ng dalawang mong kamay, hindi mo na to pwedeng ulit i-dribble kasi matatawagan ka nga ng double dribble. So pwede mo siyang i-pass sa kakampi mo. No. So kapag nag-stop ka naman, hindi ka pwedeng maglakad kasi matatawagan ka naman ng traveling violation. So the foot that is stationary is called the pivot foot. So dapat one step lang yung gagawin mong step pag nag-stop ka in dribbling para hindi ka tawagan ng traveling violation. So the next one is the basketball player can only take one turn at dribbling. So in the other words, once a player has stopped dribbling, they cannot start another dribble. So yun nga yung sinabi ko kanina is hindi na sila pwedeng mag-dribble kasi matatawagan na sila ng violation na double dribble. So a player who starts dribbling again is called for a double dribbling. So yun nga. So yun yung isang violation. So a player can only start another dribble after another player from either team touches or gain control of the basketball. So yun nga, matatouch mo lang ulit yung bola kung pinasa mo sa kasama mo then binalik sa'yo. So kapag binalik na sa'yo, pwede mo na siya ulit i-dribble. So this is usually after a shot or a pass. So pwede rin i-shoot or pwedeng galing sa pasa. So next one is the ball must stay in bounds. If the offensive team loses the ball out of bounds, the other team gets control of the basketball. So dapat kapag inyo yung bola or hawak nyo yung bola is every ball possession is important. So dapat kapag hawak nyo yung bola is kailangan maitama nyo siya sa ring or mas importante is ma-shoot nyo siya para walang turnover. So next one is yung the player's hand must be on top of the ball while dribbling. So kasi pag yung kamay mo is nagdi-dribble ka ng ganyan then pinunta mo sa ilalim, so matatawag yung lifting violation. So if they touch the bottom of the basketball while dribbling and continue to dribble, this is called the carrying the ball or the lifting violation. So the player will lose the ball to the other team. So pwede na siyang makonsider na turnover. So the last one is once the offensive team or players crosses half court, they may not go back into the backcourt. So, matatawagan ka ng backcourt violation. This is called a backcourt violation. So, yun nga, if the defensive team knocks the ball into the backcourt, then the offensive team can recover the ball legally. So, matatouch mo lang yung bola backcourt kapag na, for example, is na nagdi-dribble ka, then pinasa mo yung bola sa kasama, then na-touch nila, so pwede mong habulin yon kasi mapupunta siya sa backcourt pero na-touch ng kalaban. Pero kapag ikaw yung last touch, then napunta sa court ng kalaban, matatawagan ka ng backcourt violation. So yun yung rules ng mga nasa offense. Now guys, let's proceed to the defensive rules. So the defensive rules is the team on defense is the team without the basketball. So the main rule of the defensive player is not to foul. A foul is described as gaining an unfair advantage through physical contact. So yung defensive team naman is ang kailangan lang nilang iwasan is ma-foul. Kasi yung foul is very kailangan iniingatan yan kasi kapag nakakuha ka ng 5 or 6 fouls is maaari kang mapatalsik sa court kasi nakuha mo na yung 6 or 5 mong fouls. So there is some interpretation that has to be made by the referee. So but in general, the defensive player or a team may not touch the offensive player in a way that cause the offensive player to lose the ball or miss a shot. So, ang trabaho lang ng defensive team or defensive player is kailangan ma-anticipate niya yung offense ng kalaban, then dapat hindi nila ma-shoot yung bola. So, yun yung pinaka-rules or pinaka-trabaho ng defensive team. So, ito naman is yung rules for everyone. So, although the foul rule is described above a defensive rule, it applies exactly the same to all players on the court, including the offensive players. So, the second one is basketball players cannot kick the ball or hit with their fist. So, hindi nila pwedeng tadyakan o suntukin yung bola kasi violation din yun. So, third one is no player can touch the ball while is traveling downward towards the basket or if it is on the rim. So, this is called goaltending. So, hindi mo pwedeng i-touch yung bola kapag yung bola is nasa ring pa. Kasi matatawag nga itong goaltending violation. So, last one is every player on the court is subject to the same rules regardless of the position they play. So, the position in basketball are just for team basketball strategy and there are no position in the rules. Basic individual skills in basketball.
Good day everyone! So for today's educational vlog, I will provide you several information about softball. I am Christine Yamson. You can call me Tintin. So now, let's get started. Softball began in 1887 when George Hancock, a reporter for the Chicago Board of Trade, invented indoor baseball. By the spring of 1888, the game had spread outdoors. It was originally called either mash ball, kitten ball, or indoor baseball. But by the 1920s, it had acquired the name of softball. The sport became organized in the United States in 1933 with the formation of the Amateur Softball Association of America, which is also known as ASA. The sport was originally played by men and did not become popular with women until the formation of the ASA. Softball spread slowly to the rest of the world, with perhaps its biggest push coming from American servicemen playing and teaching the game on the far-flung fields of World War II. It was not until 1965 that the International Softball Federation was formed under Karen Christensen in Encyclopedia of World Sport notes that softball spread to the United Kingdom because of an American movie. The movie, A Touch of Class, was filmed in London and featured as softball game which began to be played in England as a result. In 1934, the Joint Rules Committee on Softball collaborated to create a set of standardized rules. Up until this point, the game was being played with varied rules, player position, and ball sizes. The originally softball used by the Farragut Boat Club was 16 inches in circumference. However, Lewis Rober, the man responsible for organizing softball games for firefighters in Minneapolis, used a 12-inch ball. Rober's ball won out as the preferred softball size, and professional softball games today are played using a 10 to 12-inch ball. However, many Chicagoans still hold fast to the belief that real softball is played using a 16-inch ball. Game using these 16-inch balls are often referred to as cabbage ball, super slow pitch, and mash ball, and unlike competitive softball, players are not allowed to wear fielding gloves. The history of softball is still unfolding, and the game has undergone numerous modifications since its creation in 1887, but it is still one of the most preferred sports game in the country and has developed a following in several countries throughout the world, especially in Australia, China, and Japan. So let's proceed to equipment and facility. There is a number of equipment which is required for playing softball. In playing softball, we required a ball, a bat, gloves, and uniforms. So now let's get started with the equipment in playing softball. First is bat. The batsmen use bat to hit the ball and score runs for team. The bat is made of wood, aluminum, or form metals. The shape of the bat is like cylinder, and its diameter is 6 inches. The length of the bat varies, but it cannot be greater than 86 cm. The diameter of the barrel is 2.5 inches. Normally, players prefer smaller barrel, but because they can swing the bat easily, but having smaller barrel also reduces weight. The weight of the bat is 1.2 kilograms. Next is ball. As the name of the sport is softball, ball is the center of the game, but despite its name, the ball which is used is not soft. Softball is derived from the famous American sports baseball, which is mainly played by men, but softball is meant for women. As this sport is mainly dominated by women, the name of the game is softball. Next is gloves. In American Softball Association, the size of the gloves cannot exceed 36 centimeters in softball matches. All defensive players wear fielding gloves, but there are normally different sizes of gloves available for players at different positions on the fields. Next is uniform. To increase bond among a player in a team, uniforms are provided. Each team wears different uniforms. Uniforms includes helmet, headbands, visor, caps, shoes, socks, shirts and pants, tight sliding undershirts, etc. For female players, uniform like headbands and caps are optimal. There are mandatory for male players, but those who wear a helmet are not required to wear headbands or caps. Next is equipment and facility. Set up the fields with 60-foot bases and a pitching mark 40 feet from home plate. Bats should be checked for proper grip. Gloves should be laced and in good condition. The overthrow line is marked 30 feet behind first and third base. Now let's proceed the basic rules. Now I will explain to you some basic game rules in playing softball. I hope you are all still listening and attentively watching my vlog. The generally rules of slow pitch is softball are used. 12-inch softball teams can have up to 10 players and 4 infielders, 4 outfielders, 1 pitcher and 1 catcher. The pitch will be delivered with a slow underhand motion. All pitches must have a 3 to 12-foot arc. Gloves are required for 12-inch softball. Gloves are not required for 16-inch softball. The batter must swing at the pitch ball. She cannot chop up at the ball or bunt it. Overthrows may be made to first, third, or home. If a ball goes into foul, territory 30 feet or more, the runner will advance 1 base only on an overthrow. 1 run is scored each time a base runner crosses home plate before the third out of the inning. The run will not score if the third out is a result of A. The batter being out at first base, B. The base runner being forced out at any base. I hope you got how the game must be played. Now, the last part of this vlog, I will present to you some basic individual skills in playing softball. We have here defensive play and offensive play. Let's start with defensive play. In defensive play, we have infield and outfield. Let me first discuss the infield. Infield, there are 2 essential skills of infielders are infielding ground balls and throwing to different bases for force outs. Now, let me elaborate more on the fielding grounds balls. Fielding grounds balls, first practice getting into the path of the ball quickly, keeping the center of the body in front of the ball. Second, learn to catch the ball with the gloves held low as you approach the ball. Third, an infielder must stay out of the base path if she is attempting to field the ball. Now, let's move to throwing to a base. First, know what base to throw to before the ball is hit to you. Second, scoop, set, step, throw. Let's move to outfield. So, what does on outfield mean? In the outfield, there are 3 essential skills of outfielders are catching the ball, throwing to the proper base or cut-off player, and backing up plays being made in the infield. Number 1, all throws from the outfield should be thrown on the line rather than lofted. Number 2, always throw to the base ahead of the runner. Number 3, on ground balls to the outfield, the fielder should have her body directly in front of the ball to block the ball if it takes a bad hop. Throwing. Number 1, always set up the throw balanced body weight. Number 2, step with the opposite foot in the direction of the throw. Rotate the throwing shoulder in the opposite direction of the throw. Extend the throwing arm in the direction of the throw. Keep the throwing elbow up and away from the body. Set, step, throw. So now I will be talking about offensive play. In offensive play, we have their batting and base running. First is batting. The batter must follow the ball from the time it leaves the pitcher hands. The bat should be swung level for good contact. Every ball hit should be run out until it is determined whether it is fair or foul. Never assume a pop-up will be cut. Keep the back foot set. Have a short stride into the pitch with the front foot. Base running, the runner should always know how too many outs a team has. The runner should know when she has to run on a ground ball and when she has to tag up on a fly ball. The runner may overrun first base if she begins the turn toward second base. She may be tagged out. Those mentioned are for infield and outfield. Let me now share to you some relevant information about softball rules. First is pitching. Pitching is done with an underhand motion. Step forward with the opposite foot. Release the ball of the fingerprints. Follow through with the pitching arm swinging towards the batter and the fingers pointing at the strike zone. Squeeze the armpit to keep the pitching arm in the line and accurate. Next is batting. Player must be bat in the assigned order. A player who bats out of order is out. The strike zone is the area below the shoulders and above the knees. Grip the bat by placing the hands next to one another with the dominant hand on top. Stance balance with the weight evenly distributed. Keep the back foot set to do not move it. Take a short stride step into the pitch with the front foot. Extend the arm into the swing. Watch the ball leave the pitcher's hand until it contact the bat. Drop the bat. Do not throw it after hitting the ball. The batter is called out in the following situation. First is when a fly ball is caught. When the batter bans or chops a ball. A chop ball is when the batter strike downward with a full swing. When there is any combination of two strikes, when the ball is thrown to first base before the batter arrives. And next is base runner. The base runner should always know how many outs their team has. The runner should know that you have to tag up before advancing on a fly ball. If there are two outs, the runner should run or anything. The base runner can overrun first base. There is no sliding in PE class due to safety. The runner doesn't always have to run when the ball is hit on the ground. Runner is on second and the ball is hit to the shortstop. The runner cannot pass the runner ahead of her. The base runner may leave the base when the pitch crosses the plate or it's contacted by the batter. That concludes my educational vlog for today. Again, just to recapitulate everything, I had shared to you the history of softball as well its equipment and facility. I was also able to provide basic rules and some basic skills that an individual should have when playing softball. With that being said, I hope you learned significant features of softball. See you on my next educational vlogs. Goodbye and keep safe, everyone.
So, hello guys. Our topic for today is futsal. So, futsal is a football game played in a hard court. So, smaller than a football pitch and mainly indoors. So, it has similarities to a side football. So futsal played in two teams of 5 players each. So one of whom is the goalkeeper. So the history of futsal. Futsal is started in 1930s when Juan Carlos Seriani, a teacher in Montevideo, Uruguay, was created a version of indoor football for recreation in Incas. So this new sport was originally developed for playing on a basketball courts, and a rule book was published in September 1933. So the basic rules of futsal. So futsal is a 5 versus 5 players, and one of will be the goalkeeper. So sub on the fly like hockey, no offsides, no goalkeeper punts. So ball must stay below head height, otherwise possession and a free kick will be awarded to the opposing teams. So no slide tackle. Player must not go to ground to steal possession back. The basic skills in futsal. Futsal actively promotes individual skills, close control and dribbling, creativity and improvisation, maintenance of ball possession, one-touch passing along the ground, accurate shooting, teamwork, and off-the-ball movement.
Hello fellas, this is Reynaldo G. Dansalan, BPE 3C. So, meron na naman tayong isang educational video na pag-uusapan ngayon at yun ay yung sepak takraw. So, disclaimer lang guys, hindi ako expert pagdating sa sport na sepak takraw and kinuha ko lang din sa internet yung content ng aking video ngayon. So, tune in and mag-cue intro muna tayo para kunyari vlogger ako. Sepak takraw. Sepak takraw is a foot volleyball game where players touch as well as handle the ball using only their feet, knee, chest, and head. The rules and regulation of the game are very much similar to that of volleyball, a very popular game around Southeast Asia. The game is played using a rattan or synthetic ball. Since 1990, sepak takraw is also included in Asian Games. History of sepak takraw. Sepak takraw was originated in Malaysia around 500 years ago. In the 15th century, it was mostly played by the royal court. Around 16th century, the game was spread across Indonesia, where people called it sepak raga. Equipment and facility of the game sepak takraw. The equipment used in sepak takraw are mostly comprises of the net and the hand-woven rattan ball. Besides this, two other equipment such as playing jersey, shoes, and protective guards are also used in this game. This is the overview layout of the court that used in playing sepak takraw. Here are the basic rules in playing sepak takraw. Players may only touch the ball with their feet, head, knees, and chest. Touching the ball with the hand or any other part of the body can result in a fault and a point for the opposition. Each team is allowed a maximum of 3 touches of the ball to return it back over the net without letting it touch the ground. Thank you guys for listening. I hope that you learned some insights about the game sepak takraw. So, thank you for listening again. Stay safe and God bless. Yeah. So, since this is the last activity in BPED 116 Team Sports,
I would like to thank Sir Jefferson Herrera for being our professor in this subject. And also my classmates, salamat sa pag-invite sa akin sa teams. Thank you.
What's up mga ka-edu? Welcome to my vlog. And first, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Ronquillo Delberto from BPE Tirisi. And let's proceed. So, football. Football history. So, ano nga ba yung history ng football? Football as a long story. Football in its current form arose in England in the middle of 19th century, but alternative version of the game existed much earlier and are part of the football history. However, international football began in 1872 when the England national team traveled to Glasgow to play the Scotland national team in the first ever official international match. It was played on 30th November 1872 of Hamilton Crescent, the west of Scotland Cricket Club, ground in the Patrick area of Glasgow. So, basic equipment in football. Worn by most football players include shoulder pads, gloves, shoes, and tight and knee pads, a mouth guard, and a jockstrap with or without a protective cap. Then, yung sa mga goalkeeper naman, yung goalkeeper gloves. Then, saan nga ba ito nilalaro? Paano nga ba ito nilalaro? Dalawa siya, sa indoor and outdoor. Ito yung sa outdoor sa futsal. Sa indoor naman, ito yung sa field. Sa field kayo naglalaro, yung malawak na field. Then, rules and regulation of football. All teams must take the field with 5 players and unlimited interchange will be allowed for all matches. Kicks off will take from halfway, no slide tackles, no offside, no throw-ins, no corners.
Good day everyone! Again, I am Mildred Bayangos, and for today's video, I will be discussing the history, equipment, basic rules, and basic skills of volleyball. So now let's proceed in history. Volleyball was invented in 1895 by William G. Morgan, a physical director of Young Men's Christian Association or YMCA in Holyoke, Massachusetts. It was designed as an indoor sport for business who found the new game of basketball too vigorous. Let's proceed in equipment of volleyball. So first is the solid ball or the volleyball ball used to play indoor volleyball, beach volleyball, or other less common variations of the sport. Volleyballs are round and traditionally consist of 18 nearly rectangular panels of synthetic or genuine leather, arranged in 6 identical sections of 3 panels each, wrapped around a bladder. The next one is knee pads. The purpose of knee pads is to protect meniscus and the patella, or kneecap. While playing volleyball, knee pads also guard the knee against cramp and burns, which could happen during volleyball trainings or matches. So next is ankle braces. For volleyball players who don't like wearing braces or fit there too uncomfortable, the Activity Ankle 329 sleeves is a low-profile ankle support. Active ankle braces prevent injuries to our athletes while making them feel secure that they can go hard in training. We also have here a proper footwear. A volleyball shoe needs to be able to move with your foot, but your foot should not be able to move inside the shoes. The volleyball shoe should fit snugly but not tight, and there should be a finger width or less between your toes and the tip of the shoe.
Next one is the volleyball duffel bags or the volleyball team bags. Team bags are important for transporting volleyball and uniform. While you would wear your warm-ups and comfortable shoes while traveling, these team bags are great for carrying your volleyballs and uniform. And last, the volleyball serving machine or the attack volleyball machine will deliver thousands of reps in daily practice of jump serve receiving, digging, and spicing. The machine provides a full range of spins, throwing both sharp top spin and breaking floaters to simulate match situations. We are done with the history and equipment of volleyball. So now let me introduce to you the fundamental must-know rules of a volleyball game. Number 1, only 6 players on the floor at any given time, 3 in front row and 3 in the back row. Number 2, there is a maximum of 3 hits per side. Number 3, points are made on every serve for the winning team of rally or rally point scoring. Number 4, players may not hit the ball twice in succession, or a block is not considered a hit. Number 5, ball may be played off the net during a volley on a serve. 6, a ball hitting a boundary line is in. 7, it is legal to contact the ball with any part of a player's body. 8, it is illegal to catch, hold, or throw the ball. 9, a player cannot block or attack a serve from on or inside the 10-foot line or 10-foot line. 10, after the serve, frontline players may switch positions at the net. 11, matches are made up of sets. The number depends on level of play. 12, 3-set matches are 2 sets to 25 points and third set is 15 points. Each set must be won by 2 points. The winner is the first team to win 2 sets. And last, 5-set matches or 5-set matches are 4 sets to 25 points and the 5th set to 15 points. The team must win by 2 points unless tournament rules dictate otherwise. The first team to win 3 sets is the winner. So, let me introduce to you the former volleyball captain of STI Dagupan, Miss Gia Fernandez Kim. She and her friend shows the basic skills in volleyball for us to know the proper doings of these skills. Serving. Dig passing. Tossing or setting. Spiking. Blockings. Those are the basic skills in volleyball. Before this educational vlog ends, I will show you some clips that shows or how to play a volleyball game. So let's watch this. So guys, that's all for today's vlog. Thank you for watching and keep safe. Bye!